Hey guys, welcome back to Paranormal, more normal than we think. Y'all wanted a face reveal, so here I am. This is me. This is my ugly mug. So now y'all know what I look like. But anyways, today we're joined with Steve, and he's going to tell us about three of his experiences. But first, we're going to get to know a little bit more about him and who he is. So Steve, just tell us your background. Tell us who you are. You don't have to go into great detail because I don't want anyone knowing your address and stuff. But you can just you can just go ahead and tell us about yourself.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Steve. I'm 31 years old, and I've been in belief and had some experiences. I've been believing in aliens and paranormal things for a long time, and uh, I'm very open to the idea of things happening that we can't explain, and I'm here just to talk about that. And uh, I'm a normal person. I work a 9 to 5 job, and I pay my bills. I'm not here. I'm just trying to be on this podcast to tell y'all how it is, like some real stuff, and get the truth out there, and talk about you know shoot some stuff and see what happens. I mean, I'm somebody that had some experiences, and I just want to explain them, and see, and hopefully others around the world have had some of the same experiences and can relate. So,
I'm sure they can, and I'm sure they will. It's just our goal, and we just got to get them on this show. So Steve, why don't you go ahead and just tell us all about the first experience? It doesn't have to be in chronological order. You can just tell us about whichever one you want. So take it
all
away.
right. Yeah, I'll start with the first experience, and these are UFO experiences. Now they want to call them UAP experiences, but um,
I always call them UFO too. Don't worry,
yeah,
I'm old
yeah.
school.
Um, so, like the first one happened, and I'm from near the Philadelphia area, and there's just crazy traffic all the time. So the first experience, I'm driving, and it's bumper to bumper traffic, and I always had my head in the clouds. I'm always looking up. I just have always, since a young kid, have always done that, and because I always believe that there's something up there, and but just a random day, and clear skies. I mean, and I just see this black dot, drone looking thing. It looked like it could have been a drone, but it definitely was zipping through the sky, and it was just under the clouds, and it just I'm driving. I'm like, what the hell is that? And this thing is just going right under the clouds, zipping. It's a black dot, and it just it sparked my interest. I was like, that was a UFO. That was not like, especially the area for it was like, because there's just always planes flying around there, always helicopters, and it was none of that. It was not a helicopter. It was not a plane. It was something that I've never seen fly in the air. So that was the first experience.
How low to the
The
ground was
second,
that?
uh, it was right under the clouds. So I'm not really sure how low it was. It was right under the clouds,
All
so I
right.
can't really tell.
Right.
It
Would you
was like
say about as high as the airplane flies?
it was lower than
Lower.
airplane flies. Yeah,
Okay. Do
yeah.
you have a picture of that one?
No, no, I do not. I have after that, I was disappointed. I wanted to take a picture of it. It just like it kind of just like zoomed past me, like, and I'm like sitting in my driver's seat, and just like what? Like I wanted, like, it just went
You just
past
didn't
so
have
fast.
time.
Like
Yeah.
I didn't have time. I didn't want to get into an accident. So I was driving through Philly, sitting in traffic, and I seen this thing zip through the sky. So it just had me thinking, because this was just after, like, this happened in early 2021, so like maybe January or February. Okay, and they were starting to talk about it on the news, how they're the UAPs that they're seeing. So I mean, I was always looking at the sky anyways, but yeah. So the second occasion, um the second occasion happened when I was at my friend's house, and we were just having like a little, you know hanging out time, and I was hanging out in the pool, my friends go and leave. I'm hanging out, just chilling in the pool, having a good time on a summer day, and I see the same thing zipping through this above the clouds. It was like it was zipping through the clouds, but it was steady speed and just zipping through. And I got video of it, and I was trying to post it to. I posted it to Twitter, and I've been trying to get like ufologists to see it, but I mean it's hard to connect with these people. But
Yeah,
but yeah, I
it's
mean
very
nobody knows what
difficult.
it. Yeah, nobody knows what it is, but it was a black drone, like a dot little thing in the sky zipping through. It looked like a drone, but it could have been. I mean, maybe it was the Russians or the Chinese, or maybe it was the U.S. government. Maybe they got something that they don't tell people that they're doing, like fly drones around. But this thing was, I just knew it was something. It was not no balloon, and so that was my second experience. And then I was like, all right, I'm getting serious with this. Like, these are out there. So my third occasion, I was in July, and I went to Nashville, and I drove there. So I'm in 12 hours in the car with my friend, and we're driving through Tennessee, and on right off the highway, I seen first. I pointed out that there was these two black dot looking figures, drone like figures, just sitting in the sky, and there were two of them. So these two figures were just the same things, same exact black drone like figures sitting in the sky. And I point to my friend. I'm like, look at those two. What the hell are they? He didn't know what they were. They didn't look like airplanes. They didn't look like jets or helicopters or anything. No wings. No, nothing. No propulsion systems. Nothing. So we see these two things, and they split apart. Like they weren't conjoined, but they just like they went in different directions, and they zipped off. And I was like my friend's seen it, and he was like, dude, that was a UFO. And I'm driving, and I seen this, and I was like, oh my god.
So they
So
took
then
off like super fast.
not like super fast, but like it. They just like went, like they were like just hanging up in the sky, like just
Like
chilling there,
hover, like just hovering there.
like yeah, just hovering.
Huh.
And then they just zipped off away from each other in different directions.
So that takes away
So
from being a balloon. That takes away from being a drone because I mean, if you see this picture, drones nowadays they have four little. They're a quadcopter basically. They have four propellers. Looking at this
yeah,
picture, even though it's a little blurry, it's a dot. I mean, that's clearly a dot. Just Johnson, he's got a video, and I don't know if I can put it in here, but I'll try to send it to you. He's got a video of a cube, and this cube is something else, man. This is his channel. It's right here. But yeah, watch this video, guys.
that is weird.
If you watch it real close, it starts teleporting.
Dude, it's zigzagging. Holy smokes.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so you can totally check his channel out, and everyone else who's watching this video, you need to check it out. I'm actually gonna do an interview with him because he's got two people who want to be interviewed Friday. So y'all be prepared for that video coming up.
All right.
All right, did you watch it all?
Yeah, that was pretty good. That's definitely a UFO.
Yep, he said it was a cube just sitting there spinning, and if you zoom in, like I said, it teleports.
That is a phenomenal video. Now,
Well,
does that ever make you question, like, is that like Photoshop or edited?
oh, dude, every video I see, I question if it's edited or anything like that. I try my
Yeah.
damnedest to debunk it in my head and make sure when I start talking about it that I don't seem like a complete moron. So,
Yeah.
but that one, like,
That is.
MUFON can't debunk it. They tried. They said it's not Photoshop. It's not been edited in no way. So it's real, and other people have seen it.
That's nuts.
Yeah, dude.
That is something else. I mean, like, it's just, I don't know, these sightings, they're getting more exploited into the world, and it's just like everybody's got some different stuff. It's interesting.
Like I don't. It just blows my mind. Like why would you have that as a ship? I guess got to be something else.
Well, I mean, they say that they're trying to. I think the government actually came out. I don't know if it was today or something that they said they were trying to experiment with this alien technology or whatever it is, or something like that. And that kind of sparked my interest. I was like, "What the heck?" They actually are admitting that there is this kind of technology that's like. I think they're saying something about warp holes or something like that. I think
Yeah.
that's correct. I'm not sure if that's what they call them, but something about like just like teleportation or something. I don't know. But like these UAPs that they're saying, like I don't know if Lou Elizondo was saying it, but they're saying like these things are like teleporting like that, like that the teleporting thing. Like I just seen in that video, like the thing just zigzagging back and forth. Why is it even doing that? Like it's
Yeah,
like
like there's no purpose in it.
yeah, it's kind of like there's definitely there can't be a human or anything living in that thing
No.
unless it's something that we have no idea, like something that we can't even at all comprehend, and that's the interesting part about it all. It's like these sightings are just so like I don't know. There's
Weird.
so much stuff out there, and it's like you don't know what's real and what isn't, and if it is real, then it don't even look real. I mean, it's such an interesting topic because we all we can do is speculate, and once the speculation is over, then what do we do? So that's another thing that's interesting. It's like what are we gonna do when we find out that there is aliens on the moon or on Mars? I mean, it's interesting stuff, and I wonder what humanity is gonna be like once these secrets get spilled out into the public. I mean, and I think now more than ever that people are going to be open to this.
Yeah.
I think I'm not trying to get too into this, but like religion is not as big as it was 50 years ago. It's I mean that's just a belief of mine. Is that I mean I'm a religious person, but like you know I'm also a skeptic, and there's just so much out there, and and so much information out there in the world. There's over I don't know how many religions there ever was, but like there's just I mean it's just all like how can you believe this when there's evidence of something bigger going on, and it just feels like now more than ever that there's something big happening, and I think it's okay to talk about. I think people should be talking about it, and I'm surprised that I'm surprised like not enough people are talking about it.
Religion and science in general. Like Lou Elizondo said, it's a pyramid. And they're starting at the bottom, or a triangle. They're starting at the bottom where it's real fat and they're far apart from each other. And the further up the pyramid you go, the more like resembling each one do. Like one resembles the other until it gets to the point that they're one and the same.
Yeah, I wouldn't oppose that aliens could be our creation. I mean, I think I've I have a theory that aliens. I think it's a popular theory that aliens did you know come to Earth a long time ago, and I believe that they had some kind of manipulation in our involvement. I mean, they were involved in our manipulation, of course. I mean,
Hell, there's
you look around, you look at everything. What?
if you look
I'm
in the
sorry.
DNA, if you look in our DNA, there's actually parts of the DNA that scientists can't explain, and it's not a human DNA. It's there's a part in there where we don't know where it came from. And
Exactly.
and Lou
And
Elizondo said if you wanted to create something that would last millions of years, and like kind of like a time capsule, he asked this other YouTuber who his channel's Theory of Everything. He asked him
mhm.
how would he create something that would last millions of years, and he said he would use the strongest metal, but Lou was like, well, what if you use DNA, because that's not going to deteriorate. That's going to keep going down the line.
Yeah, I mean, look around you. Like, what other? There's nothing around that is on this earth that is is anything comparable to a human. And I mean that's just and then and there's another theory that like maybe ancient civilizations, like even the Neanderthals, maybe they I mean, you look at some of their skulls; they're freaking huge. And if that's the case, then that could be like, they might have been aliens, and we have fossils of them, and we don't even look into that. I mean, we just say, oh, they were just Neanderthals, and they were wearing, you know, uh, freaking leaves for underwear or whatever. I don't know. But
Leaves for
I don't know.
underwear.
It's
That's
just
funny.
I can't think of the word.
No,
What do they
no, I
call
know
it?
it's funny. Loincloth.
Um,
But
but yeah, I
hell,
mean,
the Neanderthal, they could have been aliens' creation, and
or yeah, or that
that's what bred us.
yeah. I mean, you never know. I mean, it just feels like there's just so much that is so unexplained. I mean, how come we don't have a lot of information on, ancient civilizations and ancient things, and how the hell the pyramids were created? Like, how is there not a map or of how the hell they did that?
Like a
Like,
blueprint type deal.
yeah, like a blueprint of what they did on when they did that. Like, how did, like, even though there's thousands of pyramids all over the world, nothing's like those. I mean,
Well, there's
but
people who have debunked the whole pyramid thing, but something that
yeah.
people can't debunk is Stonehenge. Stonehenge.
Oh, yeah, that's another one.
People can't debunk that. They said that it is physically impossible, no matter how many people you get, using the technology that they had back then, to stand those stones straight up and then put stones on top of those stones. It's completely impossible. And
Well,
then
yeah,
why would you even do that to begin with?
yeah, it's interesting, and it's just like, I mean, like I was just talking to this guy the other day who said he went to Egypt and visited. He says he travels the world all the time, and he was telling me how he went to Egypt. And I asked him, like, so who do you think built the pyramids? And he was saying humans did. Humans definitely did it. He said back then we had giants. So even that's crazy to me. Like, so you're telling me that
Giants?
you think that there was like, he said not giants, but like he was trying to say like everybody, there was like a lot of 7 foot tall people out there that were able to lift these, and that were used to build these stones, and it's just, I don't know, it's kind of funny like how he could think that way, but it's,
Talk
some people
about
have their own theories.
talk about conspiracies that don't make sense. There are
Yeah.
people who are just staunchly against conspiracy theories, and they're saying, the Pentagon videos and stuff like that were taken, and they're saying the government did it. The government made those and all the other stuff. So they're staunchly against conspiracies. I'm like, wait a second, buddy. You are making a conspiracy about a conspiracy. You are saying that the government did this instead of saying that there are UFOs, and you're making fun of people who believe in UFOs, and yet you're making a conspiracy yourself. It doesn't make sense.
Not at all. I mean, I could see how the government might be behind these UFOs, like, but I mean, that would be interesting if it is the government that is doing this, and they won't spill the beans that they are behind it. And I
Well,
mean, that would be crazy.
even if they are behind it, let me ask you this: how in the heck would we get that leap in technology to make a drone, or even a person, whatever, do what they do? Like, so the Tic Tac video, the drone goes to the ocean level, like right at the ocean level, and then zips straight up into the sky, like into space, in a matter of 2 seconds. And the amount of
Yeah.
G force, I think Mitch, my last guy, I'm pretty sure he said it was up in the hundreds of thousands of G's. At 9 G's, you get damage done to the human body. At
Hmm.
hundreds of thousand G's, you become pudding. You are dead.
Yeah.
And then if you
Yeah.
go back to the mechanical side, like if it's a drone, there's no bleeping way we have material that can survive that, because metal itself, any kind, would start bending and breaking and misshaping, and it would just become trash unless we had alien technology that we built these drones out of. That's the only way
Yeah.
I could see it happening.
Well, I wonder if it's Russia or China. I mean,
I
I
don't
think
think
I
Russia. I think China's
no.
more the culprit, because they just launched a hypersonic missile around the Earth that the
And
U.S. government had no clue about.
was that China? I thought that was Russia that
No,
they
it was
said.
it was China.
It was China.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's see, that's crazy. That's that's like
That's dangerous.
yeah, it's very dangerous, and that's another thing. It's like it's so dangerous, the nuclear weapons that we have, and how they're just testing. I mean, they're testing these things in our environments, and it's probably messing the whole world up. I
Oh,
mean,
oh
it's
yes. Hell,
and that's exactly. Yeah, I love how they talk about global warming and all this stuff, but they're spending millions and billions of dollars, trillions of dollars on having the best nuclear weapons, and it's just like, I mean, I'm not against it, but it's like, what are we, what are we really, are we really going to set off these things? Or one day this thing might blow the whole world up. It's just,
well,
I
see, what's crazy is, so do you know, so SpongeBob? I know this is a weird kind
love
of
SpongeBob, man.
good. You know the name of Bikini Bottom, right?
Uh-huh.
You know where that name came from? There's a
Yeah.
there's a place. It's called Bikini Atoll, and it used to house a civilization of indigenous people. And the Castle Bravo test, which is a nuclear test that the United States took out, they tested it on Bikini Atoll. And what they did is they took all the people who lived there, they took them all out, and then nuked Bikini Atoll into oblivion. You see all these nuclear videos on YouTube where they're blowing shit up? That's Bikini
Mm-hmm.
Atoll. And what they did, what was so horrendous of the United States to do, they let them move back in after they were done.
Mm.
Think about all that radiation.
Yeah, that was my those are my experiences that happened in the past year. So, um,
So the paranormal, you asked me before we started recording. Um, do you have any paranormal activity going on? Have you had any?
I believe I've had some paranormal experiences. I've always had this. I'll go into this one when I was a kid, and I know people. They might dream, or they might have like vivid images or whatever that they think are real when they witness them. But like when I was a kid, I remember sleeping in like the top bunk, and and in like there was a part of my ceiling at the time that had a hole in it, and like it just wasn't, we didn't replace it at the time. We just let it alone. But every single night I would see a woman in that hole, and it would freak me out. But I would just sit there and look at her, and it felt so real. Like I thought she was really like just crawling through the ceiling, like looking down at me, watching me sleep.
Could you
And
move?
did I move?
No, yeah, like were you able to move your arms and stuff?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Okay, so
it
it
wasn't
it,
like
it
it was
wasn't
it
sleep
was
paralysis.
no, no, no.
Okay,
No, it
okay.
wasn't. No, it wasn't any of that. I was wide awake, and just looking up, and I'm not sure if like because like young kids, they see things, and I was a young kid at the time, but it always stuck with me in my head, and I've always, sometimes like I even think about it, like how I used to always see this woman up in my ceiling, like just chilling there watching me, and it might not even have been a woman. It might have been something like a ghost or something. I don't know, but it could have been something, and that was a paranormal experience. And then another time, uh, I don't know if anybody's ever like just like woken up and felt like just a new person, or just
Mm.
like you just felt like you just seen or went somewhere and came back, and you feel like your whole mind has just changed, or just like your mindset was like, you just feel like you just went traveling to like
Your
another,
paradigms were broken completely.
yeah, something like that, yeah, maybe. But it was surreal. Like it was just like I woke up sweating and realizing like life. It was just like, you know thank I was just like thanking, I remember thanking God that I was alive, like just saying to myself, like just thanking the higher power, like there's, I just woke up and I feel good. I feel like this is, I know what life's about, but like, you have these experiences and, you just want to hold on to them. But the only thing you can do is just explain them, and it's interesting. I would really like to hear people, come out and just talk truth, just be real,
Yeah.
be a normal person, you're not abnormal if you have been abducted by aliens, or you just have an experience. That's an experience. That's a major experience that I would love for somebody to prove me wrong,
Right.
that it's true, that it's not true, or it is true.
Right.
But
Hell, the thing
I
I'm gonna
mean,
tell you when we get through with the show, is an abduction that I had, and that's what's crazy is I'm skeptical of abductions, but I feel like I truly was abducted, but not in the sense that everyone's used to. I think my consciousness was taken. I don't think my body
yeah.
was. I think my consciousness was, and I'll explain why after this. And reach out to me if you want to hear me explain it, guys, because I'll explain it. But it's just hard for me to come out. I'm asking y'all to come out and tell me all
Maybe you
these
should just
stories.
say it. Maybe you should just talk about
I'm scared to, man.
it.
It's
You just talk
wild.
this your whole show.
I know, and that's the point. Like I'm a hypocrite because I want y'all to come out, but I can't even come out. It's just I
Uh,
don't worry about what y'all are gonna say. I worry about what my family's gonna say because I'm already the black sheep of my family, and I'm scared I'm gonna push it further. Yeah,
man. Well, I mean, your whole YouTube podcast is about this stuff, man. You should definitely share it one day.
yeah,
Especially when you're saying you've been abducted in maybe a conscientious or consciousness way. I mean, that's another level. I mean, the whole consciousness thing is so like I just that's another thing I can't wrap my head around. It's just I want to hear more about that. Like
well, this one should
how
blow
that
your mind.
sweet, good
But
stuff, man.
all right, we've been running for an hour and 21 minutes. That's officially the longest I've ever had a guest. So
Wow.
I'm honored. I'm honored by it, man.
Hey, man. Yeah, I'm honored too, man. I can probably talk about this all night, but
Yeah, me too, buddy. Me too.
time is running.
Well,
Mm-hmm.
alrighty. Well, that was
Yeah.
his ending statements. I messed that up on my ending statement. But
Hey, man. Thanks.
guys, I appreciate it. I mean, of course, I always appreciate it. So, if y'all want to come and talk about something that's insane, something y'all think is crazy, come to my show because I'm not going to call y'all crazy. I'm going to call y'all interesting. But, anyways, Steve, thank you so much for gracing me with this, and I hope to God you come back on, and I would love to have you back on because this was great, man. It was great.
Oh yeah, man. That's definitely a good time. Good talking, man, and good speculating on what the hell's going on out there.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Well, all right, guys. I hope y'all had a fun time, and like I always say, y'all have a good one.